Welcome to a new edition to Washington Informer News TV, or what we like to call WIN TV. I'm your host and a publisher of the Washington Informer newspaper, Denise Rolark Barnes, and I hope that you all are at home being safe and taking care of yourselves and your family. You're still in the midst of this COVID pandemic, and it's not time for us to really be out, but to be home and making the best of these times. And so we're bringing another show to you today. Before we get too much further, I want to invite you to to like the Washington Informer's page. We also want you to visit our website at washingtoninformer.com. We certainly would love to have you to become a subscriber to our weekly e-blast and information that we can send out to you every week. You know, we are at the printer as we speak. And we know it's difficult for folks to pick up copies of the Washington Informer these days because we are quarantined in our homes. We are still printing and distributing papers, but we know that you can find us online at washingtoninformer.com. So we have quite a few guests with us today. I think an exciting show. I want to thank our producer, Chevy Lassiter, a photographer who's been working really hard to try to get this up and going. And every week, it gets a little bit better. And we've got some exciting news for our show, 2 shows we're going to do next week. But always like to bring on one of our reporters, if not more than one. And unfortunately, we're going to say prayers for one of our photographers who has been hospitalized. And we're hoping to get some good news today that he does not have the virus, but if you would keep John DeFetus in your prayers, we'd appreciate that. Our staff is working really hard to try to keep things going. But we do have one of, I call my hero reporters, Will Ford, who covers Prince George's County. He's always trekking up and down from the lower part of the state to Annapolis to cover what the legislature is doing. And we've got some interesting stories from you, Will, this week when folks get this week's issue of the Washington Informer. So how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm praying John is healthy and safe so I can have some more fun with him.
Exactly. So what's the top news for you this week? What are we looking forward to reading under Will Ford's byline in this week's Informer?
Well, the Maryland incarceration, that's still a topic in terms of this coronavirus, where you have advocates, public defenders who are pushing for the release of inmates who are on pretrial release, who may have sentences which are less than a year. But yesterday evening, Chief Judge Barbera went and put out an executive order for having local judges to look at and look at who may be on pretrial status and possibly have them released to decrease the population. One little nugget in terms of the cleanliness of the particular jails and prisons is that hand sanitizer is not allowed. It's looked at as a deterrent because of the alcohol content. So there's the advocates, and we interviewed a lady, Martina Hazelton, who has a husband who is in Cumberland, Maryland. Mm-hmm. And she went and basically said, with this type of pandemic going on, the jails and the prisons can change their status and allow this hand sanitizer to be used. Basically, if the staff can use it, why can't the inmates? And also, it's a CDC guideline that's recommended if you're not near any soap. Now, Mary McDonough said on the record that, and she is the director of the Prince George's County Department of Corrections, basically the jail. She said the inmates are always near sinks. But Martina Hazelton, her response to that is, not all the time they are. So that's where it lies at right now.
So it seems as though, because we talked about it, I think, in a past show, and then there's been a lot of publicity about the fact that not only in D.C. and Maryland, but across the country and around the globe, prisoners are quite upset about the fact that they're not being tested and also not being protected during this corona outbreak or pandemic. Have you had an opportunity to get access or talk to any prisoners firsthand?
I have not. However, with Martina Hazelton, she mentioned her husband, and he has relayed information to her that when you have a group of individuals who are coming out 10, 15 to 20 at a time, it's hard to incorporate social distancing. It just doesn't work, especially if you have two people per cell. It's just not going to work. Now, Judge, now we've read and I've read that there's public defender, I mean, jail officials who have said they're making all these changes and recommendations, putting prisoners in certain cell areas, releasing inmates, which Prince George's County has done, but there still seems to be a problem. One little nugget that's going to really raise some flags is it happened, CNN reported late last night, a gentleman named Joseph Williams down in Florida. He was hundreds of inmates who was released on pretrial. Unfortunately, he was charged with committing second-degree murder. Once prison officials see that, you may see a change in what happens just that quickly. Now, however, even though Judge Barberera went and put out that order for pretrial, that is where it may stop just because of that one case in Florida.
Well, on another note, Will, I mean, I'm glad you're keeping up with that story. On another note, I know that Maryland, the governor now is requiring everybody that visits grocery stores or other public places that they have to wear masks. You know, people were wearing masks sort of, as they wanted to, and now it's a requirement. And have you, through your observations or reporting, have you seen that this is going to be a voluntary or easily voluntary requirement? Voluntary requirement. That sounds like a contradiction, but that residents will follow as they go through the state, because the numbers in Maryland, are increasing just like they are in DC and Virginia.
Maryland now has exceeded 10,000 confirmed cases. Prince George's County, the majority Black jurisdiction in the state, exceeded over 2,200. Some of it will be dependent on people. Now, Prince George's County and Arundel County, Montgomery County, I think Charles County, those jurisdictions, it's starting today, have mandated for people to go out and wear masks and even wear gloves, protect their hands. I actually saw at a local Giant when I had to go shopping, where they actually incorporated social distancing outside of the store, which I didn't see before. It was inside, but now it's outside. So health officials have basically told these particular businesses that are still open, adhere to social guidelines or else. Very simple.
Interesting. And the question, of course, is law enforcement, because I know in the district, the mayor has said that she didn't necessarily want folks to be, because there are significant fines, if you disobey the law. I don't know what it is in Prince George's County, but I know that they don't necessarily want their officers arresting people because they're trying not to put them, behind bars. But do you know what the chief's response is, or what he's warning people about the consequences of not obeying the law?
Well, I know what all the jurisdictions are following what the state law says. The state law is if you let's start with groups. If you disobey the order knowingly, that's the key point, knowingly, you can be charged with a misdemeanor. You can get fined up to $5,000.
Wow.
And or up to a year in jail. That is huge. But Governor Hogan has said he wants to put a stamp on this public health crisis. And he feels being a little hard has to be the way to do it. Now, Chief Stawinski, he's come out and said, in terms of the mask part of people wearing masks, especially young Black men, that they're not looking for that. They don't want to arrest anyone. History tells us that's a little difficult to calmly just say, okay. History says it's not really on African American side. So that's one of those remains to see cases right now.
And I think I know our time is running out, and I just wanted to quickly touch on the school system. I think that Prince George's County schools are now having what students can now with the distance learning in the county. I think that started this week. So, any indication about how that's going?
Well, actually, it started yesterday. A lot of school systems in Maryland started yesterday. And actually, I'm going, myself and a few other reporters are going to be talking with the Prince George's County CEO, aka Superintendent Dr. Monica Golson, Friday morning to get an update on how things are going for this week. Also, Governor Hogan is having a press conference today at 2:30. One of the main statewide questions that a lot of people are wondering, are schools going to remain closed after April 24th? And that's also the same date as DC as well. So that's a huge question. So parents have to figure out, will my child be home with me in May? Will my child be home with me at the end of the school year? And in Prince George's, that ends June 9th.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Will. I know you just mentioned the press conference. Are you're still going to press conferences? Is that the case, or are you doing it from? How's the governor doing these press conferences now?
Well, because of the 10 or fewer guideline, not every single person from the media is able to go. I missed RSVP today, but I'll talk with you online about something else that's going on.
Okay,
not able to say right now, but I'll inform you on that. I'll inform you.
Inquiring minds want to know. Share with me later on. Well, thank you so very much for being with us, and be safe, and we'll talk to you real soon.